When I tell you money changes people, believe me, it doesn't just reveal who they are, it magnifies it. The day I became a millionaire was also the day my wife handed me divorce papers. But she didn't know one thing. I had already seen this coming. For years, Olivia and I lived an ordinary middle-class life. I worked as a software engineer and spent nearly a decade developing a revolutionary data encryption system, my life's work. She used to call it my silly side project. I'd spend nights debugging, writing lines of code while she'd sigh and say, "You're wasting your time, nobody's going to buy this." Still, I believed in it. I believed in us. When we first got married, we were both dreamers. But as the years passed, I noticed her eyes light up not at me, but at other people's wealth. The expensive cars, the designer clothes, the fancy vacations her friends flaunted online. She started comparing. "Mark, do you know Lisa's husband just bought her a diamond bracelet? When was the last time you surprised me with something nice?" I'd tell her, "Once this project pays off, you'll have more than you ever dreamed of." She'd just roll her eyes. "You've been saying that for years." Then came the day everything changed. A global cybersecurity company reached out. They had seen my demo online and wanted to buy my patent. After months of negotiation, I sold it for $101 million. I couldn't believe it. I was finally free, debt-free, worry-free, and ready to start a new chapter. I wanted to surprise Olivia. I imagined her reaction, the tears, the hug, maybe even an apology for doubting me all those years. So I came home early that day, holding a small velvet box with a necklace I'd bought for her, just a token of celebration. But instead of joy, I was met with silence. She was sitting at the dining table, papers spread out in front of her. When she saw me, she didn't even smile. She slid an envelope across the table and said, "You need to sign these." I stared at it. Divorce papers. At first I thought it was a prank. "Olivia, what is this?" "I can't do this anymore," she said coldly. "You're obsessed with your work. I've already spoken to my lawyer. I want half of everything. The house, the savings, the cars." I stood frozen. She didn't even know about the patent sale yet. "You're serious?" I asked quietly. She crossed her arms. "Dead serious. You'll never make it big anyway. I need to move on." I felt something inside me break, but only for a moment. Then, strangely, I felt calm. She had revealed who she truly was. I picked up the papers and said, "I'll sign these tomorrow. I just need some time." That night, I didn't sleep. Not because I was heartbroken, but because I was planning my next move. I called my lawyer and explained everything. He advised me to finalize the patent deal before the divorce proceedings began and to move the funds into a trust. 2 weeks later, the transfer was complete. I officially had $101 million under my name, but Olivia still didn't know. When I showed up to our next meeting, she looked annoyed. "Did you bring the signed papers?" I smiled. "Yes, but before that, there's something you should know." I slid a check across the table, not to her, but to her lawyer. It was a small settlement, much smaller than she expected. She frowned. "What is this? Where's the rest?" "The rest," I said, "doesn't exist. You see, the company you thought was broke, the one you mocked for years, was just sold for $101 million. Her jaw dropped. "What? You're lying." I leaned forward. "No, Olivia, you gave up before you even knew what I was worth." She went pale. "Mark, I didn't mean—" I cut her off. "You did. You made your choice the moment you slid those papers across the table." Her lawyer whispered something, clearly uncomfortable, but I stood up and walked away. A few weeks later, the divorce was finalized. She got what she asked for, half of the old assets. The new wealth was safely secured under my trust. Months passed and life changed. I moved to a different city, started investing in startups, and even donated to a few charities that supported young innovators, people like me who were told they'd never make it. One day, I got a message from an unknown number. It was Olivia. Open quote. "I made a mistake. I didn't know how much you'd grown. Can we talk?" Close quote. I looked at it for a moment and simply replied, open quote, "I grew the day you left." Close quote. Then I blocked her number. You see, sometimes revenge isn't loud. It's quiet success that speaks for you. And as I watched the sunset from my new penthouse, I realized something. She was right about one thing. I wasn't the man she married. I had become something she could never have. Peace, power, and freedom. If you liked the video, please subscribe and turn on notifications.